First, let me show you what's happening in Syria. The fighting, or the latest round of fighting, has been on for more than a week now. Hundreds have been killed, tens of thousands have been displaced. These are the latest images that Wion has got from the theatre of war in Syria.
Canlarım benim. I have a Tamam, tamam.
There's a fresh churn in the Syrian war. As you can see, alliances have shifted. New fighting has erupted. But tonight our story is not about Syria. It is about China. As sounds of explosions and high decibel sound bites continue to rule headlines, there is a silent player at work. China is steadily making deep inroads into West Asia. Earlier, China was focused on development projects. Now it is graduating to defense sales, and on a scale that is giving America the jitters. Now we know that China's model is market-driven, and that's true for everything from smartphones to missiles. So the Chinese go where the market is, and West Asia is one of the biggest arms markets in the world. Between 2013 and 2017, this region accounted for 32% of the global weapons imports. And in this time, China's weapons exports to West Asia jumped by 38%. China stands fifth on the list of the world's largest arms exporters. It supplies weapons to 53 countries now. Beijing believes it can do better. Let's take a look at China's evolving role in West Asia through the prism of three countries. We've picked up three countries for you tonight, and we're starting with Saudi Arabia. Now, China has an expanding defense partnership with Saudi Arabia. This partnership is built on the foundations of strong trade ties. China's exports to Saudi Arabia were worth well over $18 billion in 2016. Beijing's arms exports to Saudi Arabia were valued at $20 million. And these are figures from 2017. It has grown since. Saudi Arabia is China's largest trading partner worldwide. Chinese construction companies are already playing a big role in Saudi Arabia. Riyadh remains invested in China as well. It wants to build refineries in China. You see how close they're coming. And now both countries are expanding their defense partnership. Saudi Arabia is particularly interested in Chinese military technology, and Beijing is ready to sell arms without any strings attached. Next, we have the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. The value of bilateral trade between China and the UAE stands at well over $52 billion. China and the UAE struck a weapons deal in 2019. It was valued at $8.2 million. It's a modest start, but a significant one. These two countries are looking to boost their military ties. The UAE is part of the Belt and Road Initiative, and China wants to set up a vital land and sea trading hub there. Both these countries could take a leading role in rebuilding Syria. China has a similar alliance with Qatar. That's the third country on our list. Bilateral trade between China and Qatar stands at well over $11 billion. The value of Chinese weapons imports into Qatar is around $88 million. China is a great pillar of support for Qatar. They have an expanding military partnership. In 2017, Qatar showcased Chinese short-range ballistic missiles as part of its military parade. And as I said, these are only three countries we're talking about. This is a trend. The question is, why did China suddenly become such an attractive option for the defense forces in West Asia? Mainly because Chinese weapons come with fewer strings attached. Unlike the Americans, the Chinese do not dictate how these weapons must be used. So West Asia is opting for made in China arms, and America is worried. According to a Pentagon report, China sold arms worth $10 billion in this region between 2013 and 2017. Chinese drones are the most popular in West Asia. China has sold unmanned aerial vehicles or drones to Iraq, to Saudi Arabia, to Egypt and to the UAE. This pattern reflects China's aggressive strategy for the region. It is doing business with all parties. It is arming all sides while gaining economic leverage in the entire region. What works for China is the fact that it invests and even interferes without upheaval, an approach that suits the authoritarian regimes of West Asia. When you look at the complete picture, China, through its direct engagement, is challenging America's supremacy in West Asia. In the last 3 years, China has set up what they're calling comprehensive strategic partnerships with Iran, the UAE, Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Now, this comprehensive strategic partnership is the highest level of diplomatic relations that China can offer to any partner, something worth the attention of the Indian government. And we'll come to India in a bit.